Happy Monday. I'm LaShawna Guy, producer of the 9 a.m. show here at 25 News. If you missed this morning's show, no worries. I've got your news highlights right here. If I seem unfamiliar to you, it's because I'm new to both the station and the area. And since we're going to be spending our mornings together, I thought I'd start today's show by sharing a little bit about myself and what you can expect to see here on the 9 a.m. recap. I'm passionate about art, history, education, and advocacy. So we'll likely be discussing stories on these topics and more every weekday morning at 10:30 a.m., where we will be recapping the good news only, the inspiring moments, the feel-good headlines, and the local wins that bring a little bit more light to your day. And I also want to hear from you. If something great is going on in your world, something positive, something you would like to share, maybe a personal victory, a community success, or just something that made you smile, or maybe even your birthday, I want to hear about it. Please send me an email to news25@wek.com. And remember to put Hey Shauna, that's SHAUNA, in the subject line so that I know it's for me. I would love to share your good news here on the show. For now, let's start today with something good. So you'll notice over the last week or so, almost 2 weeks, we've been talking about the themes that I typically find when producing the 9 a.m. show. Today I want to talk about self-care. There's a lot going on in the world, and a lot has gone on, right, in the world. Last week we just remembered the anniversary of 9/11. So we did some talking about that, and a lot of things that were tragic happened in the world, in our world last week. So today I'd like to focus on self-care. We're going to start with students at Charter Oak School. I'm going to pull that video up for you. They were able to read a book, which was a continuation of a tradition that their teacher has been doing for 19 years now. So second graders at Charter Oak Primary in Peoria read a book called This Very Tree by Sean Rubin. The story is told from the perspective of a pear tree that survived 9/11. Teacher Jessica Freeman, has made this a tradition, as I said, for 19 years in her classroom. And she says the lesson is tough, though tough times can be scary, resilience and growth are possible. So this is a gentle reminder that learning how to process challenges early on builds emotional strength for life. So just like these kids are learning how to cope through tough moments, we can also protect ourselves through tough moments. So tragedy impacts not only victims, but the entire community. And Dr. Barbara Toohill from the Antioch Group shares that it's important to notice what you are feeling and share those feelings with someone you trust. If trauma becomes reoccurring, you should seek support early so that healing doesn't feel impossible. Simple but powerful message is that you don't have to carry the heavy emotions alone. We are all feeling them at the same time, so sharing and connecting is important. And speaking of strength and support, speaking of strength and support, one fisherman found his own healing by honoring others and building community. Jeff Kolodinsky is the marathon man. He fished for 24 straight hours. Let me fix the little super here for you. Okay, so he fished for 24 straight hours. His goal was to catch 2,977 fish, one for each life lost on 9/11. He met the goal with teamwork and determination. The event is to raise money for youth programs at Camp Dallas. Now, his takeaway is resilience, memory, and giving back can be a form of self-care for us all. So from healing on the water, and joy in our community, sometimes self-care is as simple as gathering with others for something festive. So there is a social meetup group here in Peoria, and since 2017, the Peoria area young adults have been getting together in these social meetup groups. And they've been bringing people together from all walks of life to create new relationships and to give back. Yesterday, around 20 people gathered at East Peoria Panera to remove and recycle trash from that area. Now, these meetups invite people to a fun night out, volunteering, or to help raise money for local organizations. The director of volunteer outreach, Alexander Chan, says he was inspired to host these outings when he saw an outpour of community involvement after 9/11 in New York, which is where he's from. And so sometimes self care is as simple as a sweet treat and something delicious. Now, M&M's has a new flavor. And so it's honey roasted peanut, and it's now permanent. It blends crunchy peanuts with a touch of honey sweetness. It joins a lineup of fun flavors like pretzel, PB&J, cookies, and cream, caramel, and pumpkin pie. So a small joy that reminds us that little indulgences can go a long way in our mental health. And so then Girl Scouts also has added a new cookie for the 2026 season I wanted to tell you about. So the new cookie is called Explore Moors, and it's Rocky Road inspired. So it's a chocolate cookie with marshmallow and toasted almond cream filling. It's available online and in person starting in January, and nearly 700,000 Girl Scouts produce or participate in sales of cookies each year. So cookie season is not only a delight to fans, it empowers kids with confidence and life skills. So from children learning resilience to communities caring for their mental health to finding healing and traditions and treats and teamwork, today's stories remind us that self-care takes many forms, but always leads us back to hope, strength, and connection. And I just want to add that for me, this weekend I had to go home back to where I'm from for a death in the family. I had to go back for a funeral. And while I was there, and while it was a sad time to be there, it was really good. I think the thing we kept, family members kept bringing up, they kept saying over and over again was, I needed this, I needed this, I needed this. And I know we often think, oh, it's a shame for us to get together and reunite with family and our roots and our history when tragedy strikes, but it's necessary whenever we get the chance to do so. I think it's always a positive thing. For me to be able to reconnect to where my center is was refreshing, and it was a nice break. And I think all of us could use going back to where our center is and reconnecting with the things that remind us of who we are and where we came from and the value in our lives. So I would encourage you today to find out where your center, remember your center, and visit it for your mental health. Well, that's a wrap for me today. Now, I want to hear from you. Please go to news25 at WEK.com to let me know where your center is and what you thought about today's show. In the meantime, hey, remember to put Hey Shauna, SHAUNA, in the subject line so that I know it's for me. Don't forget that part. And in the meantime, check out the Midday Newscast and meet me back here tomorrow morning at 10:30 a.m. I'm LaShauna Guy for 25 News. Have a good morning.